Live from the Outpost Studios in Columbus, Ohio, you're listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy. Brought to you by IPMNation.com. Get ready for the gong heard round the world.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is not a drill.
All Natural Being. Warning, All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy is designed to shake your sense of self to the core.
It's full contact psychology with an empowering twist, a philosophical loofah for your soul.
For those of you not ready or comfortable releasing your inner superhuman, listener discretion is advised.
Here's your host,
Brian Brawdy.
Good evening once again. Welcome. Oh, and I should say, Happy New Year. Happy 2019. Let me just see this real quickly, because I'm not really even certain what tonight's show is. Give you an idea, right, how prepared I come. But let me see. What are we talking about here? 391st episode. Well, that's pretty wild. So then I should welcome you to that 391st episode of the number one rated show here on IPMNation.com. You're into All Natural Being and the aforesaid gong heard round the world just seconds ago. Broadcast, as it happens, thanks to our friends at Telestream's Wirecast. Live from the Transitional Radio. There we go. That looks a lot better. Live from the Transitional Radio uplink here in a suburb of beautiful Columbus, Ohio, directly to IPMNation.com, and multicast live over on Facebook, allnaturalbeing.com, and our Brian Brawdy app as well. As always, you can follow our little soiree here in the new year over at iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter. I keep saying Twitter. I think we're going to stick with it for a while at least. I go back and forth. Greetings wherever you are. Here's the one thing I don't go back and forth on. Greetings wherever you are, here in the garden of the mortals, the labyrinth of life itself, the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights, the pivots, the swerves, the flukes, the whims, the sheer havoc, the synchronicity, serendipity of it all. Blind alleys, few of them, cul-de-sacs, absolutely, but never a dead end, not until you decide to tap out. Because it's true. Life constantly comes at us. Fate, it is relentless. But so is divine intervention. Every chop block of fate comes with a counterpunch from the divine, however you define it. So I guess you could say, as always, no different in 19 than in 18, that life's labyrinth is the back and forth between the plus and the minus, the good and the bad. Right? And then what you and I have to decide is that in this chess match between our dynamic and the dark clouds that pursue each of us from time to time, either way, it's your shot at running the table, at leveling out, only where and when you see fit. No permission needed from the committee vote, no permission needed from anyone. It's not you to constantly accept a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You decide. And as far as your ferociousness goes, it's in your blood. You can feel it. Now you just have to get your mind to remember and embrace it. And that's why we're here, to be your amnesia buster, to be your friendly blue force. Cognitive left of bang, if you will. Always putting your heart's highest priority top of your list where it belongs. Very plain and simple, really. Reinstalling and reinstating the true wit and wisdom and wallop of your inner whisper, wherever that leads you. Rebooting your robust, commencing your own counterpunch, all in time to out-brutal the brutal that is the cut and shuffle that fate can deal you on a daily basis. And boy, it tries. and to once and for all bring your own bold. Because as I said, no different now than last year. You can be jacked up or buttoned up. The storm is coming. It's up to you. And the stunning beauty of it is that, in fact, you make the call. You decide how you're going to face the future. But before we hit it this evening, a quick hello, as always, to my friends here in the United States and Canada, Mexico, the UK, my dear friends in Ecuador, China, the Philippines, Brazil, India, Australia, Germany, Italy, and France, Nigeria, Turkey, Japan, Singapore, Thailand, Belgium, Sweden, Israel, South Africa, Egypt, and Puerto Rico, Kenya, the Netherlands, Iran, Colombia, Greece, Ireland, Argentina, Peru, Austria, that's true, Poland, to those joining us from all over the globe. It's great to have you with us. It's truly an honor, and I am fired up to be driving your bandwagon, to being your virtual hitchhiker if you're out and about on the go, but always to be avidly you, to be your biggest fan. So what do you say? What are you and I waiting for? Here's your opportunity to mortal up, like the t-shirt says. Here's your opportunity to mortal up, and the new baseball cap, mortal up. It's time to love the way you think. Why not? It's time to be your all-natural being. It's time for you to bring your grit to the relentless grip of life. It's time to go kicking some doors. And right away this evening, I want to thank Matt Connerton from IPMNation.com and also Wayne Noel for all the work that they did today to get our little thing up and going as it pertains to the 81 to win coming up on Thanksgiving Day. Oh, be that were true. Coming up on St. Patrick's Day, which is March 17th of this year, so 69 days away. Thank you guys for everything you did today to help me get that up. And if you haven't had a chance to see the video yet, if you could head on over to IPMNation.com/81TO, right? 81 to win. So 81TOWIN for the video kind of announcing what it is that we're going to be doing there. And I wanted to thank them because, as is always the case, if it looks really good here, chances are their handprints, their fingerprints, right? Their hands are all over it. If it looks like a train wreck, it's mine. 391st episode, is that what we're calling it? The 391st episode, and it's always the same. If it's a disaster, you pretty much go, "Ooh, Brian, he's on top of that." But if it comes out pretty good, if it looks pretty good, and it's, you think, "Well, yeah, there's some pre-production going in there." That's always the other guys. It's not me. All right, let's hop to the thread this evening. I want to go ahead and say hello to some people right off the bat. Recording from 10 to 11 tonight. Ooh, very nice. Thank you for that text. Not even sure I know what that means, but thank you very much. Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you so very much. Let me see if I can get over here. And let me see. There we go. All right, I'm finally in. What are you going to do? Heather, good evening and Happy New Year. Nice to see you. Marcus, thank you so very much for joining us. Mary, hello. It was so nice, Mary, to see your post the other day about that little spinning candle thing that we have every year at Christmas. I was pretty fired up to know that you all have one as well, so that was really cool. Thank you for sharing that. Also to Lee. Lee, we'll see Lee in a little bit here in just under an hour. Copy that speaks. Lee will be here in the studio, and we redid a little bit of the studio this evening. We've been working on it all week because, I love having guests. I got to be honest with you. So we want to make the guest experience. So now they're going to have their own monitor. They have their own little corner, a couple different corners actually. So we're pretty fired up to be working on that. So we'll have Lee as our, I don't know if it's politically correct. Can I call him a crash test dummy? I don't know if I can say that anymore. So we're going to, guinea pig, am I allowed to say that? We're going to use Lee as our petri dish to see what he thinks about the new setting for guests. So we're pretty fired up to have him this evening. And then Wayne, if you're here in the thread, if you'll let me know, I think Re-Envisioned is going down this evening at 8:30 with the incomparable Henry Noel, I think at 8:30. And then Copy That Speaks will be here at 9 o'clock. Jenny, thank you so very much and for all your help today as well. Lee, nice to see you. Kenneth Ratliff. Congratulations. I hope retirement is dealing you the hand that you want. Very nice to see you. Thanks for joining us, brother. Sarah, nice to see you. Please tell all the boys that I said hello. Please tell everyone there I said hello. Marcellus, again, thank you for joining us here at All Natural Being. So welcome to 2019. And here's the thing that's been kind of ricocheting around in my mind. as we got ready to do. And to be honest with you, yesterday's show was just like, I think we're going to let everyone get through all the New Year's resolutions, all the bucket lists, all the to-do lists and everything else. But the question, and though any of those, I'll take it. Thank you, Lee, very much. Well, I'll feel a little bit better about the crash test dummy after he's actually driven to the studio, right? I'm going to feel just like crap if, Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So hurry up and get here, brother, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. But one of the things that I was thinking about yesterday, and most certainly today, is what if you're already enough? Right? What if there's nothing more to get? Admittedly, maybe you and I are a little rough around the edges. Maybe there's some tweaking, a little bit of tweaking we can do here and there. But what if we're already enough? What if this is insanity? Oh, it's New Year's Eve. I'll lose 50 pounds. Which, right, I said that too. I calling it the Tumor 2035. I think is what it's called. But in any event, I'm right on top of that. Oh, and very, very thankful to have Derek Noel Fitness to be a part of that. But what if you're already enough? What if there's no goals? What if there's no carrots on the end of the stick? What if you go, I could use a little bit of polish. I'm a little, Travis Tritt, the country western guy, used to say he's a little rough around the edges. But what if you're already pretty good enough? And that maybe just getting off your own back, giving yourself a chance to exhale and go, you know what? I'm pretty fired up about the life I've had. I'm pretty fired up about the lessons I've amassed. Now, how can I mortal up and use those very lessons to have exactly what I want in life? Maybe that's a way of doing it. But it seems ultimately a depressing time of year because everyone you talk to, I'm going to gain this, I'm going to lose that, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get rid of that. And I think, what if you're already pretty special? What if not that kind of, I know what you're thinking, not that kind of special. What if you're already special? What if you're thinking, no, I have what it takes to put my heart's highest priority top of the list? What if that's the case? What if that's you already? 833-646-3877, 833-646-3877. Of course, 833-MIND-UPS. If you want to give us a holler, let us know what's going on. Great practice for the 81 to win. We have a couple different maps on the way. We're going to have a map of the United States, probably include Canada and Mexico as well, so that we can put all the states, all the provinces, all the different things here in North America, so we can put a little flag on for every call that we get. And then we'll have another map of the world, 190 some odd countries, so that we'll see that throughout the 81 hours, do we get everyone from all the states, all the provinces, all the countries around the world to call in. Mary says, I have resolved to eat more chocolate and drink more coffee. Mary, good for you. I've got chocolate right here somewhere. Good for you. And I love a cup of coffee. And and I have to tell you, Mary, one of the things I like about coffee, and I don't know if you all are this way, but one of the things I like about coffee is that the doctors said one of the quickest ways to help beat back the pain from the headaches, one of the quickest ways to help my body's immune system in terms of turning around and trying to beat the aftermath of the tumor, believe it or not, was coffee. So when people say, oh, don't you just love a morning cup of coffee? I have to be honest with you, I hate the taste, right? So I follow the Dave Asprey, everything, with the butter and the this and that. I try anything I can to change the flavor of coffee because I don't really like the taste, but boy, do I like the aftermath, because I'm not big on painkillers. I'm not big on narcotics. I'm not big on that kind of thing. But I will tell you, Mary, coffee and caffeine was absolutely instrumental to helping me through those couple of years. Wayne, good evening. And Wayne, I was asking, does Henry have a show this evening at 8:30 on Transitional Radio? We have that coming up. If so, if you could post that. Wow. Okay. Listening up. Thank you, Jenny, very much. Taylor, nice to see you. Yeppers, I'm watching. All right. So Yeppers, I'm thinking maybe that means Henry will be with us at the bottom of the hour now, just 15 minutes away. Don't forget 833-MIND-UPS. That's 833-646-3877 if you want to give us a quick call. David Ray Bowman, good evening, brother. This is blasphemy. Right. Let me just say, and I know, right? I saw another post today that says, oh, well, does it always, you ever meet those people that make it all about them? But now here's the thing. When we talk about blasphemy, in terms of the taste of coffee, when they remove the tumor, they cut all the nerves going to my tongue. So when I say I hate the taste of a cup of coffee, here's the thing. David knows this. If you ever invite me over to your house for dinner, you can just serve styrofoam packaging peanuts because I literally can't taste a thing. So you go, how does it taste? Double thumbs up here. I'd be the best restaurant critic in the world. Everything 5 stars, right? Golden table, silver plate, vote, whatever it is. I'd be the best one because I can't taste anything. They cut out all the nerves supporting my tongue. So when I say I really don't like the taste of coffee, what the heck do I know? Maybe it's great, maybe it isn't. But for me, I'm like, oh, vile liquid, I got to tell you. Although the particular coffee that I do get, I like the taste. And then when I add in the butter and the bone broth and a little bit of my black seed oil, my little concoction of things that I put in, and then I put it inside of the blender buffer, I can get away with enjoying it. Brian Bouchard, good evening. Thank you for joining us here on All Natural Being. I should, and I don't know if Casey is listening, so maybe we should talk about this offline. Or if she's listening, just put your fingers in her ears, because I think for St. Patrick's Day coming up, I think is a part of the show. That's why you invited me to lunch at Bass Pro. I know I do like chocolate. I'm looking, right? See, I probably have some of it right here. Oh, you know what else is really good is my friend Brian owns True Fruit. That fruit, that's like dark chocolate and real fruit. It's fantastic stuff. So, Brian, here's the thing. Casey isn't listening. I say you come here for St. Patrick's Day, and during the show, you guys renew your vows. Right? So don't anyone repeat that in case she's listening, but that's what I think would be a really cool thing for you guys to do. You come to Columbus, you don't live that far away. I know how far you are from here. Come to the Columbus and we'll renew your vows live during the Guinness World Record, which will be ours by that time, by 5 o'clock on St. Patrick's Day. So I think you should come here and renew your vows. That's just what, just between you and me, that's what I'm thinking. All right. So this evening we're talking about what it takes for you to think, I think I'm enough. Maybe there's some little things that I can do. Maybe there's a way, a 20-minute victory. What can I do for the next 20 minutes? 1/72nd of my day to put my heart's highest priority top of my list. But what if you're already enough? What if you're already pretty cool? A friend of mine said the other day, well, you just dated yourself. You said the word groovy. Well, that, and I get thrown under the bus all the time being from West Virginia because I say, I reckon. Were you going to come over? I reckon. You're going to be on time today? I reckon. So those 2 words. But here's the thing. Neither of us are crazy enough to do that again. Brian, here's the thing about my friend Brian and his wife. Whether you see him all those years ago or I just saw him a few months ago, they are just insanely happy whenever they're hanging out together. So I know that's a boatload of bunk. Jenny Coffey says, that's awesome. Yes, let's do that. Mary Haggerty says, I never think I'm good enough because there's always room for improvement. But that does not mean I beat myself up mentally. I like that, Mary. I like that. And I think for a lot of people this time of year, they just don't, right? Yes, there's always room for improvement, but I think maybe little improvements, little tweaks, little things that we can do. But, this whole, I'm going to do this. I'm going to rewrite my Constitution. I'm going to do all these other things. And then I think, yeah, you know what? I think you're pretty cool already. I think you're pretty dialed in already. Yeah, rough around the edges, as you say. There's always room for improvement. That's true. But let's just not make it a building with 400 rooms. Room for improvement, but a little niche, a little sliver of improvement that we could do. And maybe if we focus on that, if we have a habit of every day doing a 20-minute victory, 1/72nd of that day to where we look and go, sure, I can improve a little bit there. Maybe that's a way of doing it. And as you say, not beating up on yourself mentally. All right, 833-646-3877. I think these things are turned on. 833 Mind-Ups, MINDUPS, just like push-ups or sit-ups or pull-ups. Mary says, yes, keep it simple and breathe. I have to tell you, Mary, when people ask about the headaches and the pain and doing a lot of these things, I have to tell you the breathing was instrumental in helping me through it. And a lot of people go, oh, so you learned meditation. I have a problem with the term meditation. And as many of you know, I also have a problem with this concept of, I need a mantra. For me, my mantra is thank you, thank you, thank you. And the breathing comes just from listening to the sound of my own heartbeat. I don't know how foreign or how metaphysical a concept that really is, but listening to the sound of your own heartbeat and being thankful that the next beat comes, that's enough meditation for me, and it's been very instrumental in helping me beat back some of the different things. All right, let's see this. Now, you'd think here, oh, this isn't looking good. All right, well, let's just, none of the lights are lighting up. I got to figure that out here in the break. All right, so that's just like me. Give out the 800 number, and then I realize now something on the board isn't quite right. So we'll have to get to that at the break, especially before Lee gets here. All right, Jen Coffee says, I am enough. And when I keep myself in a positive mindset, those around me, even my cats, are happier. I believe that. What we give out affects everything around us. A simple gesture can change an entire day. I absolutely agree. Mary says, every time you say pull-ups, I think of kids' overnight diapers. Yeah, that's not what I meant, but I get that. I absolutely get that, Mary. Pull-ups, right. That is true. Okay, so Wayne has just now notified me here in the thread. Do these things have like power maybe going to them or something else? Wayne has just notified me here in the thread that Henry, I guess, will not be on tonight. So we'll get a little 30-minute break here. Let me make sure I'm telling you right. Wayne says nope. I think that's what he means to it. Henry will not be joining us at the bottom of the hour. And I don't know what day he's back, but I'm sure it's relatively soon. All right, so this evening. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I also made mention. Yeah, see, none of that looks like it's going. Huh. All right, I'll have to figure that out. You know what? You do, and then you realize that you didn't do it right the way it was supposed to be done. But I'm glad. So if you're one of the ones calling in on the lines, apparently there's a little bit of trouble here on our phone line. So we'll have to obviously figure that out, and we'll be ready to go by the 9 o'clock hour. All right. So this evening, as you start to wind down your evening, and you're thinking to yourself, what is it about my life that I could tweak a little? We will be back on he will be back on Sunday. Rita, thank you very much. Henry will be back with Thinking Re-envisioned. Henry Noel will be back Sunday night. It's great. I tried to call Kenneth. Okay, great. So what I should do is then, what we'll do, Kenneth, is I want to hear all about the exploits of now being retired for the first time ever. We'll figure out what's wrong here with the board, and then maybe we'll have you call back. Let's see, what is tonight? Thursday, so we won't be here Friday or Saturday, but maybe we'll have you call back Sunday night, give us an idea of how everything's going with Window Armor and everything that you got going on there. So I apologize that you're not able to get through, but believe me, we will figure it out here before too long. All right, and also if you get a chance, I don't know if you remember our friend Kenneth, who is the inventor, the creator, the minds behind Window Armor that were instrumental. He used to be as of like 48 hours, or maybe 72 hours ago, used to be a high school or a school superintendent, a district superintendent, and is now left to full time go and figure out how to protect kids in classrooms from active shooters, violent intruders, that kind of thing. So we'll look forward to having him back on to give us an idea as to what's been going on with him. You've got it. Okay, great. So there we go. We'll book it for Sunday night. Give us an idea of what he's been up against, because I'm sure there's a bunch of people that go, oh yeah, you know what? I'd like to retire as well. So we'll have to learn from him what it's like in those, because I have to imagine you wake up one day and you go, oh, I don't have to go to the office today. I am the office. I'm retired. This is what I'm going to do. So I'd like to get some insight from him and to see exactly what he's been up against. All right, and also I wanted to make mention, as I started to say earlier, and then I got a little bit sidetracked, for the 81 to win, someone had emailed me yesterday. Yeah, we're taking calls from anyone that wants, right, with this crack audio board, we're taking calls from anyone that wants to call in, but we're also going to have set calls like we did last time. Remember in our 24-hour marathon that we have under our belt, we'll be setting up certain people to call in as well, so that if you're hanging out with us, you go, oh, I'd really like to learn a little about this. I'd really like to learn a little about that. So we're going to have some other guests calling in that will be able to give us their expertise, so that if you come and you hang out with us for a little bit, you really can learn from what I think are some of the coolest minds around. So yes, we'll be taking calls from anyone that wants to call in, and then we'll also be taking calls from scheduled guests who might be talking to us about anything. So if there's an idea, if you're thinking, oh, I always wanted to learn about, if you remember last time, Kelly Hill was with us talking about being a dental hygienist, and we had people from all walks of life calling in and give us their expertise. So if you like the idea of having a particular caller call in, and there's something you've always wanted to learn, or you want to call in and interview that caller at the same time, by all means, leave it here on Facebook, over on Twitter, drop me an email or an instant message. Let me know what you're thinking about, and then we'll reach out and try to get that person on the call throughout that 81 hours so that we can, so it's kind of a learning experience as we go along. So we're absolutely looking forward to that as well. Also, someone had asked yesterday, when it comes to Mortal Up, how can you hook up with a Mortal Up t-shirt? We're in the process now of getting the Mortal Up t-shirts, and we don't sell them so that there's any kind of, to make any kind of profit, but we're in the process of figuring out how we can produce maybe, 20 or 30 or 40 at a time, and then be able to, when someone says, oh, how much? And I go, oh, here's our cost, and then bang it right out to you. If you want a Mortal Up t-shirt, we're working on that now. We've identified a couple different printers, and I think they're like $18, maybe $19 is what it costs us to get the shirt, and we're just going to go ahead and say, great, $18-19, whatever it is, it's yours if you like the concept of a Mortal Up t-shirt. And the belief behind Mortal Up is simply that we think you're already special enough, we think you're already tough enough, we think you're already unique enough, so what's it going to do? What's it going to take for you to put your heart's highest priority top of the list? All right, so that was those were the two emails that I wanted to talk about that we got in yesterday, and making sure everyone understood how that's going. And then also just to learn from you, if there are other things you'd like to see us do as we ramp up. We've got, I think, 69 days. If you get a chance, ipmnation.com/81to-win, TOWIN, 81 to win. It'll give you an idea of some of the things that we're working on. But in this 69 days, we're going to be doing all kinds of things to learn about what it's going to take. And St. Patrick's Day, we could end up with a Guinness World Record, or we are going to end up with a Guinness World Record. So if there's anything that you say, oh, you know what, we'd like to see this or that, please drop us a line and let us know, and we'll absolutely incorporate that into the show. Also, starting Sunday night, again, Ken Ratliff will be calling in, let us know about his first days of retirement. But we're also going to go back to our original format where we had different segments. We'll be running those down Sunday night. So if some of the ones that were your favorites, let us know, and we'll go ahead and incorporate that right into the show. We decided earlier in December that what we'll probably do is stick with the 30-minute format so that we can get all the other shows that we have coming on IPM Nation/TR Now, which is transitional radio, as you know. So we're going to stick to the 30-minute format to allow us to put all of our energies and efforts into learning what it's going to take for the 81 to win, which launches I think it's the second or third Thursday in March coming up. So that's what we're going to be working on as well. All right, as we get ready to wrap this evening, thank you all so very much for hanging out with us. And here's the question: how is it that you're already not cool enough, that you're already not dialed in enough? What would it take if you'd say, yeah, you know what, I'm not all that disappointed with the way I turned out. I'm going to massage it a little. I'm going to work around some of the, rough some of the edges out. What would it take to develop some callus, right? Some calluses in our mind. So we're thinking about all these other people that have these negative things to say from time to time. We just ricochet off us. We don't pay attention to it, right? And to develop those calluses. I'll talk a little bit Sunday night about the Cognitive Bodyguard program and what we're going to start doing. And then maybe we'll even get into a little bit, now that I think about it, we'll get into a little bit about what we're going to do with the overall format of the show and how some of the offline program will be the Cognitive Bodyguard, right? You don't need a mastermind. For some people do, some people don't. You don't need a business or a life coach. Maybe you just need a cognitive bodyguard. You need someone there to protect you and, protect you from your own thoughts, protect you from the thoughts from outside coming in, but always work to keep your heart's highest priority top of the list. All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening. We'll be back Sunday night, 8 p.m. We'll have worked out the phones. We'll have worked out everything between now and then. Thank you so very much. We know there's all kinds of places you could be hanging out on a Saturday. What is wrong with me? All kinds of places you could have been hanging out on a Thursday night. We're very glad to have you here with us at All Natural Being. Have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Good night, everybody.